After you get properly set up, your hands are pretty close to your feet, you feel good about where you're positioned, it's time to focus on being able to shift forward with the purpose of getting our body weight centered over the middle of our hands so that we can simply press up into that vertical position. Okay, so remember the setup, your hands are going to be pretty close to your feet here so that our shift forward as our shoulders come over past the tips of our fingers, we're able to lift our feet off the floor and press all the way up into that handstand, okay? And as you could probably see, my shoulders are really planching forward a lot, right? As I shift, my upper body, my shoulders, everything is coming forward in front of my hands. This is important because my hands are kind of our lever point. If we want to press off the ground into a handstand, and my hands are the only two things in contact with the floor, I've got to get half of my body weight in front of my hands while keeping half of my body weight behind my hands so that I can simply balance on my hands, right? Well, since I know that the weight of my legs, my lower body, is always going to be slightly behind my hands, I've got to get the weight of my shoulders, my upper body forward so that I can simply lift my toes off the floor, right? We've got to make sure that we're shifting forward enough to achieve that balanced weight distribution over our points of contact with the floor, our hands, so that we can simply get ourselves into that handstand position, okay? Now, as you start to practice this and you shift forward, you're gonna notice that there is a lot of pressure on the shoulders. You're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, this is really hard. Well, guess what? That means you're probably doing it right. It is very, very hard. And again, that's why I keep saying this is one of the hardest skills that you can do within gymnastics because it takes so much upper body strength. So as you shift forward, don't let that scare you into continue to try this skill. Just know that it's going to put a lot of strain, a lot of pressure on your shoulders, but you have to be strong enough, creating a strong enough base to push away from the floor, strengthen and engage, activate the shoulders to be able to hold you up there and just keep fighting through it, okay? If you're somebody who feels like you just keep collapsing, well, maybe we have some kind of upper body weakness that you might not be aware of, so we've got to get stronger here before we can properly shift forward, keep that good solid foundation, and be able to press our legs all the way up into that vertical position, okay? So just know, shift forward, balanced weight distribution over the hands, and it's going to be pretty tough here. But again, that's why we have those prerequisites to help as best prepare you as possible.